Hey guys, the Super Review Show for another editorial video. I've done a couple of these recently, so why not? Here's the dealio, home slices out there. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, get on the bandwagon because I'm going to give you guys a lesson. Fathom events. For those of you who don't know, a movie theater chain has a Fathom event coming up. And what a Fathom event is it is when movies are re-released in theaters by the studio just to celebrate an anniversary or whatever reason that they have to do. It could be like an anniversary of the film. It could just be, we're going to have outside of anniversary releases, they're like, we're going to, mainly for anniversary releases, but there's other reasons too. Like they have they've released anime films. I'm not an anime guy at all, but they've released like anime films back in theaters. They've released big budget blockbusters like E.T. or Star Trek. They also are re-releasing classic films, such as To Kill a Mockingbird is coming out in November, being re-released. And I am very intrigued to see that on the big screen again, truthfully. Not again, because I wasn't alive then. You know what I mean, though. But I'm a big fan. I've become a big fan of these Fathom events. Fathom events, to me, personally, are really just something very unique. Not many people do them, but unless it's a really big, we're celebrating the 15-year anniversary of Iron Man, or we're celebrating the insert name of other film here. We're releasing Star Wars, the original theatrical cut, before we release another Star Wars movie. We're releasing 4, 5, and 6 into the original theatrical format in theaters. That's a gold mine. They wouldn't do it. I don't know why. That's me. Fathom events are when movie theaters re-release older movies. And I'm a big fan of them, truthfully, because it's nice to see, January of this year, I actually saw Casablanca back in theaters, and it was a really interesting take on seeing a movie that was 80 years old this year, 2022, 80 years old from 1942, back on the big screen. You're like, holy crap. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and it was an incredible film. I had seen it once, years prior, but I've seen it back in theaters, different experience, different quality, everything different when you're back in the theater watching movies. Because I just shot 2 movie reviews for E.T. and Star Trek. I just saw Star Trek 2 and E.T. back in theaters for these Fathom event things, and I was like, oh my god, what a different type of experience. And I'm a big fan of experiences throughout, not just through YouTube, whatever, but through life. I'm a big fan of the Fathom events because I'll give you an example. They released E.T. E.T. got re-released back in theaters last month in September. And I saw it back in theaters, and I have to tell you, the sound, the visual, it was all completely different when you watch it in a theater. It was just different because that's why, re-releasing Empire Strikes Back in a couple of years for its 45th anniversary, why not? It might be a gold mine opportunity to actually start doing stuff like that. So I really like how movie theaters are re-releasing these movies back in theaters, and I'm a big fan of the movie-going experience as a whole. I think it's worth every penny you spend, despite however high or low the price may be. I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of seeing movies in theaters first, truthfully. And I'm a big, I will always say I'm a big popcorn guy, big soda guy, and I'm going to the theater and I'm going to have a good time. That's me. So, yes. But long story short, if you have a movie theater that's doing a Fathom event near you, check out what's coming out, because you might be surprised, they're releasing that movie back in theaters? They're releasing Jaws back in theaters? Whatever. It could be anything. But it's a different way of seeing movies back on their original format, because back in the 70s, you didn't have you had started to have tapes, but the theater was the way to go. It's 60s, it was the same way. You go to the movie, and you go to the movie theater, and they would show 2 movies in one day, on the same showing, like Lawrence of Arabia, and they would show that one, and then they'd show 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's your 7-hour day right there. But yeah, I digress. Fathom events, if you haven't heard of them, check out one that's coming close to you in your city or your town or whatever, because I believe I'm a big fan of re-releasing movies in theaters now based on these Fathom events things that I've just seen recently. They might give you a little trivia beforehand too, but they are really cool, and you might like it. You never know. So anyways, I digress. But that's going to do it for this editorial video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us on social media, whatever you got to do. But for all of your editorial videos, and go check them out at Fathom Events. Just keep locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off the rock. We'll see you guys later.